So what you're looking at is a tube amplifier, and it utilizes a pair of 1626 tubes in triode mode. And for the drivers, as you can see, we have a 6SJ7, and for rectification, right in the middle, we have a 6X5, I think it is. Let me zoom in. I haven't. And it was a 6X5 tube rectifier. No, 6X4. Shoot, I don't know what I'm talking about. 6X4 tube rectification. And it's, like I said, it's a pair of 1626 in triode mode, and it puts out about a watt. It's a flea power amplifier, but it sounds wonderful. I mean, it does sound really, really nice. And I use this with a pair of Sansui 12-inch speakers, and that's plenty of power for that 1 amp, for the 1 watt. Plenty of power. Let me walk you through around the amplifier and just show you around. Once again, I have my bias setting to check the bias. I don't remember how much milliamps I have on these set to. I gotta test it out and verify again. But you plug in your voltmeter here, and you touch ground at the other lead. You measure your voltage, and I think I have a 1 ohm or a 100 ohm. And you do the math, and you figure out your milliamps bias on each one. And like I said, this sounds wonderful. So if you do decide to build yourself a 1626 tube amp, go right ahead and do it. I mean, it sounds great. Let me show you the back. I painted this. Power off and on switch, fuse, RCA input, and output. And that's pretty much it. I love to build my amps and add handles. That's just my thing. I love to add handles. Oh, by the way, it does have for all my amps, I like to build a headphone jack. Because sometimes I don't connect these amps to the big speakers. I just like to connect to my headphones and listen to audio. I usually plug in a record player or an iPod. But yeah, here it is. Sounds great. Let me show you the bottom side. The bottom side, all you can see is just I added this little vent here. I'll open it up and show you the inside. So the sound off these tubes, if you're into vocals, you're into musicals, you're into opera, this is the best type of headphone amp to put together and build. I do recommend that. These are easy to access tubes. These are not expensive tubes. I think I have maybe like 50 of these tubes that I purchased at one time for under maybe what, $40. Yeah, so once again, this is a tube amp that I put together. Like the sound. These are these speakers. I don't have these connected. I'm not going to play any music because it doesn't do any justice on YouTube. The sound quality on YouTube versus live, it's just night and day. Just wanted to show you what I put together. And if you decide to put one together, go right ahead. And I do recommend you use this simple 1626. Once again, like I mentioned, it only puts out not even a watt, maybe like 0.9 watt. One if I peak it. But here it is. Let me take it apart. Let me flip it over and take off the cover and show you what's under the hood. Here you go. Just wanted to show you what's underneath the hood. And I am running these tubes in DC mode. The heaters are in DC. That's your headphone jack. As soon as you plug in your headphones, your output cuts off. See the bias resistors. Once again, this is input. This is in a triode mode output. This transformer right here, it's your DC for the heaters. Volume control. And as you can see down here, we have RF choke number 1 for the left channel, RF choke 2 for the right channel. This is a superbly sounding amplifier. I mean, it sounds great. If you're into audio, you're into records, you're into vinyl, this, I do recommend you put one together. A 1626 in trial mode. It puts out not even a watt. That's plenty enough for my headphones, plenty enough for my big speakers. No issues whatsoever. Now, the only thing I do recommend, let me flip this over again so I can give you some ideas. These tubes, 6SJ7, sometimes might tend to sound a little noisy, especially if you tap on it. These don't. These are nice and quiet. But I noticed that if you do the glass ones, they tend to sound a little noisy. But not these. And when I say noise, when you tap on it, you can hear it on the headphones. These you can't. So here it is. 1626 in trial mode amplifier.